Critical evaluation of our American excess. This is one of the absolutely most important missing things in our entire lives. When God first crashed in on me, I was having waking nightmares about excess. I literally I was walking around feeling uncomfortable as I was thinking about the empty dining rooms in the comfortable homes around me that never get used, with a thick white rug. There's this big room that gets used once every 3 years. And I just kept having this feeling of a person who is sad and suffering and has nowhere to rest would consider the rug on that floor to be like heaven. And I kept getting these awarenesses of how much extra space there was. When I became aware of God, I was like, we human beings need to be creatively introducing other human beings to the friendship with God. God has befriended us. And I kept thinking about my parents' basement. There's room in that basement to put 2 bunk beds. We could have 4 extra people living with us, and they could be spending time out on the streets caring for peoples and their lives. People that don't have a clue about the friendship of God. And I mean, for months, I was so uncomfortable about the excess. I mean, I had an apartment, I had a failed marriage, I had an apartment, I had antiques and pretty stuff, I had 2 antique cars and a motorcycle, and I just felt like, oh my gosh, I'm putting hundreds and hundreds of dollars into just me. And all this money that I have could be going towards people that are truly suffering. Now, oh my gosh, just taking the time to illuminate the fact that, you know, if you 2 people live in a house that's enormous, huge, and all there is you 2 and your cute little dog, and there's even an apartment downstairs that people could be in, and you are actually full of God and full of awareness of Him and full of even understanding how to do outreach and practice. I mean, like God kept showing me that if we, all of our excess is actually going to, on the final day, all of our excess is going to be counted as theft against the poorest of the poor. This is a heavy missing point. We have got to warn one another and question one another about what we are doing with our American excess. What are we doing with our time? What are we doing with our space? What are we doing with our money? Time first. Time first. Are you applying yourself to the lovely maintenance of your stuff, or are you really taking yourself and putting yourself where the needy people who are hungry to hear you really are? Time, space, assets, vehicles, food, etc., etc. American excess must be continually monitored and warned against, constantly, watching one another, asking questions about what one another is doing with excess. And in the Didache, there's great points about, give to the one who asks you, because God wants to give outrageously to you. Give to the one who asks you. And that's why Jesus says, sell everything you have, give away, and then you can see the miracles of God. And also, let your money sweat in your hands until you know to whom to give it, because there is a way of unrighteously helping the rich. And we're called to wash the feet of the saints, the ones that are dedicated to God's service. We're supposed to try to help them get farther. And we're supposed to look for the poorest of the poor. There are wise people in the multiplication ministry that are saying, look, we don't go to gated communities. We go to the communities of desperate people, and they rise up with power and with stature very quickly, like the commercial fishermen and the tax collectors and the prostitutes and all those people that Jesus went to did. Woohoo! Watch out for American excess.